Hello, so we are back, and this time with another laptop repair course. Now, this is the second course, so I think a video about soldering, it will be fantastic. But on this video, we're focusing on BGA chip soldering. This is a motherboard, this is a working motherboard, it's not even point testing, but it is displaying picture on the HDMI. And we're gonna do some BGA soldering. Now, if you are on this channel from long time, try to remember on 7 years from where is this channel, how many chips did you see me reballing? Hmm? Think twice. I never reball chips because it's pointless. The first, the chips, they have like big solder balls because they are not soldered by people. They are soldered by machines. And having like big solder balls, it will give you some kind of leverage for a machine, I mean. And most of the problem I seen it myself. I'm watching forum or Discord, and the people are overcomplicating something simple, like soldering. So it's not only pointless overcomplicating a simple task, but it's also dangerous because you can end up with a dead something. So today we're gonna resolder the EC chip from this motherboard. This is the EC chip. I'm gonna tell you what is the EC chip. The EC chip is the startup chip. And that's how I was calling this kind of chip before. Like years ago, I said always startup chip. But people correct me and say, sorry, say, okay, EC chip embedded controller. So actually, this is the brain of a motherboard before the motherboard is starting. So what this chip is doing, actually starting the motherboard, is handling the keyboard, is speaking with the PD controller on this case, PD controller, which is the power management chip, which is dealing with the USB. So this chip is doing a lot of things. Also, inside, the chip has a image of the BIOS. Yeah, that's how the chip knows what to do. So the EC chip is a very important component. Now let's check what EC chip do we have on this motherboard. So here we have a Novoton MPCE EC chip. Now, why you will want to resolder this chip? I don't know, maybe it's burned and you are replacing it. Maybe you have some water damage and a reflow, it's a very good idea. Or maybe you suspect a cracked solder under the EC chip, this chip, and you want a reflow. So first, let's take the chip out, yeah? Now, before we are starting, yeah, this is the only time I'm not using my rosin flux. The rosin flux, what I have, it's a dense flux, and here you need something very light, yeah, because we are not doing reballing. Does mean we need a very liquid flux, yeah, which it will evaporate quickly. Otherwise, the chip it will flow on your flux. Yeah, that's very important. Now, another mistake is to believe, okay, if I'm coming with 480 degrees, actually the chip it will have 480 degrees, and that's not true. So the components from the board, the main cooling things, it's through the motherboard. So just because you are coming with high temperature, that doesn't mean the chip it will have that temperature, because the chip it will spread the heat through the motherboard. So don't be afraid to use high temperatures. More important is how much you are holding the heat on the chip after you took the chip out. That's more important. So on this case, I'm gonna use like 400 degrees, which is a decent temperature for this kind of job. To take out the chips, you don't really need flux, but we're gonna apply flux after we are removing the chip. For 400 degrees, let me grab a proper tweezer. Proper tweezer means a tweezer I can count on. Yeah, I found it. Yeah, this looks like a proper tweezer. Now the chip position, okay? Actually, this nozzle is kind of small, but we should be fine. We should be fine. So we are heating up the chip 400 degrees, and the chip is out. Check that. Huh? I mean, we will not gonna go on that to say, okay, we still have solder balls, so we can solder the chip back. Yeah. Obviously, you can see here is no flux. If you'll use the flux and you pull up the chip straight, you can use the same solder balls. But let's say, okay, I done something wrong. I don't know. Maybe my hand is shaking. Yeah. Let's solder the chip on this position. Okay, so we solder the chip back, and this can happen. I mean, you have a case like this, your hand shaking, or I don't know, something happened, and you don't have the solder balls. So what do you have to do now? Now you have to reball the chip, which is a very long operation. You apply more heat to the chip. It's not only about the time; it's also about the risk. Just leave it this on one side is pointless, like how I said, pointless. Yeah, you overcomplicate a very simple soldering solution. So I'm gonna come with my flux. We have some gel flux here. We can apply some gel flux. Like how I said, you need some light flux. And now again, together, okay, we are doing this together. Let's see how is the chip. We messed up the solder balls, right? That's what will happen. Yeah, you can see we messed up the solder balls. What we are doing? We are cleaning? No, we are not cleaning. It's solder. It's pointless. Again, don't take unnecessary steps. We are putting the chip back, yeah, on his position. That's what we are doing. You see the tweezer is sleeping. You can see now the chip, it's on the position, right? And now we are pushing the chip down. Push the chip down till you see the solder coming out. You see, like that. It's hard. It's hard. It's not. Now let's put the chip on the position. We need to align the chip. So the chip is aligned. And now we can solder the chip. We can solder. Actually, we are hitting the chip. And check that the chip is moving. It's moving to his place. And now I know 100% this chip is soldered properly and it's working. So all we have to do is to take the solder out. Let's wait for the solder iron to get hot. And you'll ask, sorry, but what about, bridges under the chip? No, it will not gonna happen because you have flux. Flux, it will prevent bridges under the chip. Now let's get the solder out. You have few solder balls here. You have one small solder ball there, and that's all. We are fine. Yeah, and here you have few. Yeah, we are ready. Yeah, it's fine. It's all good. We can test it. Now let me grab my cooler and let's cool down the motherboard. Then we can check. Yeah, that's all. Let's plug a charger. Plug in the charger. 20 volts. That's a good indication. Actually, we soldered the chip right. I'm gonna use the HDMI from the microscope. Now all what is left is to press the power button. So the power button is one pin from the keyboard, but I don't know which one it is. So we have to short all the pins. Just watch the current. Yeah, when the current is going up, that means we switch the board on. Yeah, and you can see 650 milliamps. 700, you can see. Let's go on the microscope and let's wait. 800 milliamps on the meter, 900 milliamps on the meter, and the screen goes blank. Yeah. Let's wait. Obviously, the EC chip has to load the BIOS when we are resetting the board. And it's working. Check that. We have picture. That means we soldered that chip properly. And now you will ask, okay, Sorin, but there is another way, like a easier way to deal with this kind of problem, to solder that chip? And the answer, yeah, it is. Yeah, and I will show you. I will show you. Okay, so let's get the chip out again. I'm not gonna edit this part, yeah. So this part it will be no edit. But actually, I have to because I have to switch to microscope. Taking the chip out, and the chip is out. Check here. Huh? I mean, you can still see some solder balls, yeah? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the solder iron, yeah? This is even more easier. Little bit of flux. Flux here, perfect. So with the solder iron, we are cleaning the solder from the chip, yeah? Solder from the chip. Perfect. Yeah. So all solder balls are equal. Yeah. That's why it's important. And the solder from the board. Yeah. Check here. Okay. All good. And now we can put the chip back. Let me leave the solder iron here. So the chip. I forgot the chip position. How the chip it was. Oh, like that. Okay. Let's come with hot air. We're gonna see on what position is this chip. Yeah. Yeah. That's the position. Yeah. So we will solder the chip back. Let's solder the chip. You see the chip slide on his place. You seen that? Perfect. Yeah, that's all. That's all what you have to do. That's all what you have to do. No, I don't want to move the board. And I will tell you why I don't want to move the board, because the pad is behind of the board. You should always have space behind of the board. Because if I move the board now, the components from the other side, it will move from the place. This is one mistake I made now. Okay, I should put something to have some space between the board and the table. Anyway, let's cool down the board. Let's see. We still have 20 volts. That's a good sign. Let me power on the board. Which one it is? You know what? This one is not working. No. So let's do it one more time. It's no problem if you have to do it one more time. That's okay. I'm not perfect. No one is perfect. So we have to do it one more time. And that's okay. That's fine. And the chip slide on his place. Let's hold the chip down for a second. Perfect. Let's check. Let's see. The chip is cold. Let's plug the charger. 20 volts, and that's fine. Now let's see the power button. And the board is taking 700 milliamps. Let's plug the HDMI. HDMI plugged in, and the microscope. Let's wait. We have picture. Huh? What do you think about that? Huh? So yeah, that's how you do it. And now, if you are checking the chip, let me plug the microscope here. And if we are checking the chip, yeah. So check here. 1 second. You can see it's actually no space between the chip and the board, and that's fine. That's okay. It's not a problem. Okay, that's how you solder a chip without reballing. Now, the people, I'm pretty sure there will be people, and they will say that's dodgy. And the only way the only reason they will say it's dodgy is because it's not the same like the manufacturer, yeah, or it's not the same how the others are doing it. I mean, we have on the channel over 1,000 videos, actually over 1,200. Never ever reball a chip. No reason why I should complicate a simple job. Simple, easy, and I can save a lot of time, and also not that much risk. And if you think, Sorin is dodgy, you remember the old NVIDIA GPUs? You remember? Let me see if I can find them on Google. Yeah, I found it. Now, if you remember this kind of chips, you remember like this one. So this chip was actually exactly on the board, yeah, like with nearly no solder balls. If you remember, yeah. On that case, NVIDIA wasn't dodgy, but yeah, you must remember and it was not only NVIDIA. I believe it was an Intel chipset, same like the chip was sitting on the board with no space in between. So it's not like the manufacturer not doing this, but like how I said, have in mind. Just we are human, yeah. The machines are soldering the chips on the board, so they need some leverage, like how I said. Now, if you ask me, this is an improvement. It is, yeah. So actually, the chip has better cooling, yeah. So close to the board, the chip has better cooling. The downside, the chip is not that flexible, yeah. So let's say bending the board or I don't know, some extreme heat on chips which they are getting hot. This one is not getting hot, but let's say a chip which is getting hot. Uh, you know, not having solder balls can be a downside. But we are speaking about small chips. The bigger chips I solder without solder balls is an NVIDIA GPU. Yeah, I done it once. The GPU, the old GPU, you remember, it was the same size of a chipset. So yeah, even a chipset, I believe I can do it without reballing. I'm just saying, yeah, if myself, which I'm working every day, doing jobs, I have no issue soldering without reballing. I can't see why you will, complicate your life with doing reballing. No hate for the people are doing. It's fine if you have time doing. It's not a problem. Yeah, don't get me wrong. That's the way I do the things. Yeah, that I'm trying to share with you. Why you will never see on this channel, a reball job. Okay, but please, this is not a hate video against reballing. I understand. And if you are a beginner, you can have some leverage having a chip with solder balls. But after a while, when you get experimented, reballing is pointless. Yeah. I'm gonna stop now. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I will say, thank you for watching and see you on the next one. Bye. Hey, if you find my content being helpful, don't forget you can support this channel by pressing the join button, and you can get instantly access to our members only cool collection and Discord private channels for support with your repairs. Also, you can have a look on our United Kingdom eBay, where you can find some cool and unique products, United States eBay store, or our Patreon page. Thank you.